Well, this is the first video from Chapter 9 on finances and marriage.
It's one of those key components in the life of a couple.
Money is important, representing our work output and turning it into buying power.
When we have a shared responsibility for it, things never go quite without adjustment.
Well, good afternoon. This is the first introductory film on marriage finances. We believe that this is actually a very important part of marriage.
Yeah.
It's one of those key elements that has to work well. Now, I would be less than honest if I didn't admit that this is probably one of the more challenging parts, the most challenging part of our marriage, because we come from such different outlooks and backgrounds. Now, money is such an important thing because it does represent our capacity to do something or not to do something. Now, here we are married, we're one flesh, we're one team, but Judy is still someone who has her aspirations and her need for accomplishment. I also have a need for accomplishment. Part of that has to do with money.
Yes. Each person has to feel valued, and that means that we have to compromise and make space for each other's differences. Your background is going to have much to do with how you spend your money. But also as a Christian, you've got to take into consideration what God says about it all. I know it's one of those issues which can be a little bit thorny because sometimes money is used in a wrong way, even in churches.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And you have to be very wise to make sure that what you're doing is according to God's word, not what you want it to be.
So harmony is actually fostered through understanding each other with money and working as a team with money, or in the case failing, it can engender quite a bit of bitterness and resentment. If one part of the marriage, one of the marriage partners feels like she's being left out in the cold, or me, if one of us feel like we're really slighted. We can see also that money has a lot to do with our identity as a couple.
Yes.
What our priorities are, what we esteem to be more important. Also, if I'm considerate of Judy or if she's considerate of me, we'll see it in the finances. Now,
you can tell an awful lot about a person by how they spend their money.
Yeah, Judy always told me, being an accountant, she always told me that when she looks at someone's balance sheet, she knows the person.
One of the things that I want to stress is that what is going out here is not necessarily our own philosophy. Various different people are going to have input, and we may not necessarily always agree with everything that everybody says.
For example, if you have your private accounts and you also own a business, well, that changes the dynamics, doesn't it? So there are all sorts of different creative ways to handle your finances. But I think the basic idea is, am I considerate to Judy? And is Judy considerate to me? And how does that reflect in the way we handle our money together as a team? Yes, and I just want to add a humorous little footnote here. There's a kind of an implication or an image that we get in society that the women are the shoppy, sort of spendy, throw money in the air types. That has not been my experience. My experience has been that women handle money much better than men do.
We've made a start on chapter 9 of If You Love Me, Show Me.
The question is, am I helping my wife to fulfill her aspirations?
And am I helping to fulfill my husband's in how we manage our finances?
Next week we'll be with Meg and Eric from the Scottish Highlands about how they manage their money.
It's aptly named, Who Wears the Financial Trousers? Don't miss it. God bless and bye for now.